Okay, we're back. I have steamed the placenta for 15 minutes on each side and removed it. Let it cool for a few minutes so I can touch it. Of course, thoroughly washed my hands and cleaned all of the cooking materials and wiped everything down again for sanitation purposes. So now what we're going to do with the freshly steamed placenta is slice it as thin as possible so you'll have even dehydrating. So get your sharpest knife out. I know this is a kind of a weird sharpest knife, but it's one of those really expensive Cutco knives, and it does a great job. So again, I'm going to cut this into small, very thin slices, and then we will prepare it for the dehydrator. So pretty easy. You husbands out there who are afraid to do this, it's really not that hard. It's actually just like working with a piece of meat if you want to just think of it as a roast or something like that. It makes it a little easier. So again, we are slicing this as thin as possible. My dog is down here freaking out. She really wants a piece, but no, Fox, you cannot have any. This is for Mama. And we'll slice it real thin. The steaming process, you know, there is a little bit of a faint smell of steamed meat, but I just turned on the exhaust fan, and it took most of the smell away. And if you have a Sensi, that might be a nice thing to turn on about now to get rid of that steamed meat smell. So again, I'm just slicing as thinly as possible the steamed placenta. And we are almost complete here. If I don't cut myself here, it'll be a sheer miracle because I seem to always cut myself when I'm using any kind of, well, doing anything for that matter. Oops, see, I'm already trying. Okay, so I've sliced thinly one direction, and now I'm going to just do the other for uniformity. The smaller the pieces, the faster it will dehydrate. So, slicing it up. And we're going to be dehydrating this for approximately 6 to 8 hours. And then I'm going to check it and see how it's coming along. It may need to go 12, depending on the dehydrator you're using. It could even possibly take up to 24 hours to fully dehydrate your placenta. Also, of course, the thinner you can get these slices, the faster it will dehydrate. So it's all going to depend on thickness and the power of your dehydrator. And of course, you don't want to over dehydrate these either. So I think we're ready to place these in the dehydrator for processing now. So I'm just going to bring that over here, and we will go ahead and start the process. We bought the Nesco American Harvest dehydrator. I'm kind of excited about using this afterward. If you happen to have any parchment paper or something, you could put in the very bottom of this for any juices that happen to leak out. That might be helpful for cleanup. So I'm just going to evenly place these out here on the dehydrator. And get them all prepared here. I'm by no means an expert at this, however, I'll do whatever I can to help my wife. be able to breastfeed and recover from the pregnancy. So we're excited. And we're saving quite a bit of money because price is usually about $300 to have this done. Some places it's as low as $150, but of course we live in San Francisco area, so everything costs an arm and a leg. So I'm saving a couple $100 here because it did cost about $100 in materials for this new food dehydrator and the grinder and capsules and the cutter here. So looks like we're going to do a third row just to make sure they are nice and, since we happen to have lots of room, and this is easily cleanable. Nice thing about this is we can reuse this dehydrator after we're done with this. Of course, as long as it's nice and clean, which it will be. Okay, so my dehydrator instructions say you have to have all of their things in there. Drying racks. And we are going to, again, run this for, I'm going to run it for about 6 hours and then take a look at it, see how things are going, and then determine how much longer we'll need to go from there. Just try not to kill all the good stuff in there. You want to dehydrate it at about 115 degree mark if you do have a dehydrator with a temperature thermostat. And there we go. We've started the process, and we'll check back here in another 6 hours and see how we're doing.